So most of us see art when it's either hanging on a wall or it's on display, but today we are at a place that is preserving art for generations to come. Joining me is Holly Witchy. She is the Executive Director of ICA-Art Conservation. Thank you so much for inviting us here today.
Thank you, Nicole. I'm glad you could come.
I feel like this is one of those hidden gems, and honestly, I'm so honored to be able to tell the story of ICA because you are a very, very special nonprofit organization, and you're doing pretty remarkable things.
I think we are doing pretty remarkable things. We're the oldest nonprofit art conservation lab in the country. We were started nearly 75 years ago. December will mark the beginning of our 75th year by the directors of 6 museums, Midwestern museums, all of whom wanted an art conservator for their museums, but none of them could afford one, but together they could afford one. So 75 years ago, they started up on Oberlin's campus, and we just keep going today.
Talk about the pieces of artwork that you traditionally work on and how it is that you're able to preserve and maintain these pieces.
Sure, we're a full service art conservation lab. That means we have all 4 specialties for art conservation. That's paintings and polychrome images, gilt frames, works on paper, textiles, and objects, which includes sort of everything else.
So this is Andrea, and Andrea, you are a painting
conservator.
Can you talk about the painting that you are working on and how this piece ended up in your hands?
This is a 17th century painting by a Dutch artist that belongs to the Chazen Museum of Art, which is the University of Wisconsin's art museum. This painting had a very dark varnish coating on it, which I have removed. Along with old retouching, so many paintings are treated in the past.
Okay.
And some of those materials that we used in the past are not very stable. They darken, they discolor, and I've removed that on this painting. I put on a new varnish layer, and I'm doing the final retouching of the losses. So this is almost done.
So when you get a piece like this, do you instantly know what has to be done, or do you have to study it and figure out?
We look at it carefully,
Yeah.
under normal light, under ultraviolet light, under good light, and we do little tests along the edges to see what the materials are on the surface and how we can safely remove those. And then we write up a treatment protocol, which the client then signs and agrees to do, and then we can start the work.
So in addition to paintings, we also have conservators here that work on objects, and Claire is one of them. Claire, what is this particular piece that you're working on?
So this is called an Ile-Ore. It's from the Nigerian culture in Africa. And the primary sort of goals of treatment are to clean it and stabilize it. So what I'm going in and doing is removing sort of all the loose dust and dirt, and then very conservatively taking some of the grime off so that it still looks like a used piece, but it's a little cleaner than it was.
Can I ask you about the record behind us?
Absolutely.
Is that a gold record?
That is a gold record.
So you're working on this project as well?
I am, yes, in the middle of it.
Okay.
So this is the Voyager record. In the 70s, they made 12 different records. It's gold-plated copper, and they were made by NASA. 2 of them were sent out into space on the Voyager spacecraft.
The goal was to talk to the aliens out there?
Essentially, yeah. So this is one, of course, that was not sent out into space. It's from NASA Glenn. This is prior to cleaning.
Okay, so you take pictures when you receive the objects, and then you kind of study it, figure out what needs to happen.
Exactly, and then once treatment or the project is complete, you take a picture after. So that's part of the documentation process.
Now, Kate, you are a paper conservator.
Yes.
Talk about the piece you're working on.
So this piece is from a private client. This is a poster of Lord of the Rings, the original illustrations for the paperback editions that were printed in the United States. They took all 3 covers and kind of merged them together in one. And this is a pretty personal gift to the client. It's been in her family for a really long time, and it has a lot of sentimental value. So she brought it in to have some work done. Mainly, there was quite a few pieces of tape on the surface, which was starting to degrade and yellow. I went in, removed the tape, and now I'm going through and mending tears that are in the paper because it's pretty fragile at this point, infilling losses, and then retouching those losses so it looks almost whole again.
I know you said this is part of a private collection, but you've also worked on pretty well-known pieces as well. What are some of those pieces, if you don't mind sharing?
Yeah, so I'd actually say for prints, it's pretty common to actually get like Picasso prints. I did a series of prints for a local college museum, Ohio Wesleyan, down in Delaware, Ohio, and they had prints that were attributed to Hokusai from Japan. I'm really partial to Audubon's Birds of America prints, and I've gotten quite a few originals through because they're a personal favorite of mine.
Well, thank you so much. This has just been such a treat. And you know, for those of you watching, it's really interesting because you usually don't know their names, but you know the names of the artists and the pieces of art that they're working on. And it's because of places like this that these stories can continue to be shared for generations to come. So thank you so, so much.
You're welcome.
We are heading inside of a creative space in Lakewood now. It is a